Hi, you're watching WCI-TV, brought to you by Tower MSA Partners. I'm sitting here with Dan Anders, of course, the Chief Compliance Officer for Tower MSA Partners. I'm Kirsten Delgado, your host today. Dan, thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome. I'm glad to be here.
I appreciate your time and your sponsorship once again here at WCI. With that being the case, tell me more about Tower MSA Partners.
Sure. No, and our sponsorship, this is our 11th year of sponsoring WCI-TV, and it's just a phenomenal type of program to have at this conference, and something you don't see at other workers' compensation conferences, where you have people from the industry who can come in and do interviews talking about what's going on in the workers' compensation industry. As the Tower MSA Partners, we're a Medicare secondary payer compliance company, which means we focus on working with our clients to settle their workers' compensation cases, to resolve their workers' compensation cases. So whether it's our Medicare set-aside services, conditional payment services, Section 111 recording, our focus is ultimately to bring those services together to help clients resolve their workers' compensation cases when they've got someone that is a Medicare beneficiary.
All right, very important work there. And as a sponsor, once again, as you mentioned, for the 11th year, talk to me about what the theme is for this year's interviews.
Sure. So this year our theme is, every year we do a different theme. This year our theme is workers' compensation at a turning point. So bold ideas for great outcomes. And what we're doing is inviting folks in, industry leaders, people that are thought leaders in the workers' compensation community, to talk about changes in the workers' compensation world, so to speak. Also, take a look at some things that maybe we shouldn't do anymore,
Right.
that we should potentially change, and as well, some takeaways for the folks attending the conference in terms of how can payers and others benefit, and the injured workers benefit from some potential ideas that these people have that are doing the interviews.
You touched on this a little bit, so I'm going to dig in a little deeper, get a little more technical in the questioning here. Let's talk about Medicare compliance specific to MSP obligations.
Yeah.
What's one bold idea or innovation you think that really employers or carriers can really institute to be more effective in this, right, in respect?
Yeah, so on acronyms are all Medicare secondary payer is what we do, and a bold idea isn't necessarily new, but it's one that we think is important, is really taking Medicare compliance seriously from the outset of a claim throughout the claim, and ensuring that as a payer, as a work comp payer, whatever you may be, that you are identifying whether or not you have individuals who are Medicare beneficiaries or close to becoming them, and ensuring that impacts how you handle that workers' compensation claim. Because what we see is when you take control of those cases, it gives you more time and ultimately allows you to reach more often than not, a better resolution on the claim than you otherwise would if you don't address those issues early.
And speaking of addressing issues early, what's one long-held maybe assumption you think that really could change in terms of how second payer is approached? What's one thing that you go, if we changed that, things would be so much smoother, more streamlined? Yeah,
no, I mean, I think it really gets back to addressing things early, and reaching out to us as a Medicare compliance provider to work with us and say, okay, we've got an individual that we need to really address these issues on, and allow us to get a head start. Because what often happens if you wait to the end of the claim, unfortunately, the issues aren't addressed, and it creates sometimes additional cost, additional time. And as such, if you can get a head start on these things, we see that when we have our clients really taking that approach, it leads to much better outcomes.
And that's the whole purpose, right?
Of course.
Yeah. Always want to be there for your client, your customer, make everyone's lives a little bit smoother.
Yeah. Definitely.
All right. Dan, thank you so much. Appreciate your time.
You're welcome.
You're watching WCI-TV, brought to you by Tower MSA Partners, and I'm Kirsten Delgado.